Hey guys, Dark Humility here with a brand new mini guide and demo on the Season 10 closed beta. We're at the end of the closed beta, so this should be how it works on live. This is the reworked Blades of Ice Assassin. This is actually a rework that I've been, pushing for since like Season 3 or Season 4. So to finally see it done is actually pretty insane. Not to mention, it is an incredibly safe but powerful build that you may want in your arsenal in Season 10. There are multiple gear options as well that we'll of course go through, but we'll start with the stats and then go to the skills, the gear.
I can already tell
and
that
then,
I'll be your best friend in this forsaken
on
camp.
top of that, we will then also do demos, and you will see those all very quickly here. Let's get it. Alright, so let's start with the stats. So as you can see, lots of damage. It's going to be mostly cold pierce that you're looking for, and plus skills. You're going to want enough strength to wear your gear. You're going to want enough dex to wear your gear or to help with attack rating. And you're going to want the rest of your points of vitality. Max res is preferable. My res isn't so good. Definitely want to get max res if you can while you're mapping at the very least. And obviously on hardcore. Res is very easy to fix the corruptions, but on beta that can be difficult. So bear with me and don't mind the survivability so much, as some things like life per kill, mana per kill, sustain, and things like res and DR might be lacking on this build. You can always swap out items for more damage reduction, more survivability, and just things like that in general. Alright, so we have that. We got Cold Pierce, already talked about that. You're going to want max attack speed. If you're going Blade Burst of Speed, that's pretty easy to hit. If not, you're going to need more attack speed on your gear if you're using like Fade or something for more tankiness. You're going to want pretty good faster hit recovery, and you're going to want block with claw block if you're using 2 claws, or you're going to want max block if you're going something like Gurks or Storm Shield for maximum block on your offhand. One way or the other, block is pretty essential, I think, to the Blades of Ice Assassin. And then, of course, mana per kill, life per kill is pretty important. I do have a lot from Drax on this particular setup, but you can always have a lot more. Leech also helps as well, but not as much as per kill. Alright, let's go to the skills. Skills are going to want Blades of Ice, and its single synergy maxed out. It only has Blades of Ice and Tiger Strike. Then, if you put 1 point into Blade Shield, you can get some more procs and sustain with Leech. Since this build has a decent amount of life leech, I'm going to use Drax and Blade Shield to help out. Of course, we also have Cloak of Shadows for those oh crap moments, oh bonkers moments. Absolutely. Don't die, man. Don't die. You're going to also want to max out Claw and Dagger Mastery for good attack rating. That's mostly what you're getting out of it, as this build mostly does cold damage. You're going to want to have, of course, Burst of Speed for running fast. And, of course, for those attack speed frames. If not, you can get those kinds of stats elsewhere in your build and go for Fade for a tankier approach, such as for hardcore. Weapon block is very good with 2 claws. Make sure to get that high up there. And then, of course, you can get a really strong Shadow Master that can tank along with your Mercenary if you want them to as well. The Mercenary is pretty standard stuff. If you can get Conviction, Act 2 Mercenary with Infinity, you should do it. I do have a, I believe I'm using Blessed Aim on him, but you can go for a tankier approach on Defiance. Blessed Aim will give us a lot of attack rating though, which is nice. And it also helps with Deadly Strike on builds that do physical damage. You have Lava Gouts for some extra attack rating from Enchant Fire and half freeze duration to make the Merc mostly not frozen. And of course give him a bunch of DR, Life Leech, and stats like that, and some damage might be nice from Gore Riders as well. If you're really rich and you can afford it, things like Taunt from Ferocity, proccing it with Blade Shield is insanely good. You jump in the monsters, everything gets taunted. You don't have to worry about the monsters killing you so much, and then you just kill them with ease. Really good stuff. Smart stuff. Alright, and then of course we will have my setup, which is going to be Cold Facets and a Bartux and Stalker's Coal. You can go 2 Stalkers for even more Dragonflight cooldown reduction, but Dragonflight cooldown reduction is really key to this build. and just in general, it's a very strong thing. Of course, just really strong stats in general. Very good stuff. Now, Stalkers are just really good. That cooldown reduction allows you to kind of fly through the map, so that's kind of why you want it. You can also go like Plague Claw, though, which can help with survivability with cleansing. You can even go the new weapon, Shatter Blade, which is a mithril point. If you don't know what it is, you'll see it around. If your loot filter should be able to find it. It is a unique dagger. It gives a lot of cold pierce and cold damage, and this is claw and dagger mastery, so if you use a dagger you can use one of them. You can use like a storm shield or something on the offhand. A really tanky approach would probably be like storm shield and stalkers, or storm shield and shatterblade. Shatterblade also does things like ice barrage on kill, so that can be kind of useful as well. You can also go, of course, a bunch of things, but I'm going to show it off like with this because I feel like this is a pretty solid setup. That does a lot of damage, and you know, the survivability, you know, is not quite as cool when demoing something. Usually just want to see something fly through a map and destroy everything. So we're going to focus on the damage. We got Night Wings and we got Snow Class for Cannot Be Frozen, with the combination of 2 half freeze durations, which does give you CBF as of Season 9. You're going to want Cold Pierce, Facets, plus skills. My res kind of sucks otherwise, so I'm just going to use a Mars, I guess, on this build, because it's kind of rough to get my res. But you can use things like Crescent Moon. You can use a lot of different options, actually, to make this build work. So, yeah, good stuff. Crescent Moon solid, CTA and Lidless on swap, pretty standard. Sustain is really nice on this build with something like Drax. You also get attack speed from this corruption, and you just get attack speed normally. Skills are good with LPK and Life Leech. And faster block rate is good. I recommend at least 20, but 32 actually can be quite a bit better on Assassin if you're going for block, particularly Claw Block. And Snow Class also gives 2 skills. Now you can get a lot more DR. This build has like no DR basically, except for the Defiance on the Merc. Or actually, I don't even have any DR, I don't think. Yeah, it's a 0 DR build. So yeah, definitely a little squishy. If you're playing on hardcore, you're going to want Dungos, maybe Storm Shield. You're going to want to use other things. Maybe even 3 Cold Faceted Crown of Ages, you know, something like that. This is a little much, but it's okay. These are all softcore demos. All my testing is softcore, even the Season 10 tier list, which will be released after open beta, so it should be released like the 23rd. Of course, I do softcore damage testing so that all the giant softcore player base, which is much bigger than the hardcore base, can enjoy. I play hardcore myself, so don't worry. I understand how painful it is to die all the time, but sometimes test subjects die. I mean, that's just how it is in the lab, the mad lab. That's how it goes. I don't know what to tell you. You know, cruel experiments, man, being performed on these test subjects here. Test subject 1. That's all it is, man. Not what I would do to my characters, man. I don't like them dying, so we'll prevent that on our actual gameplay in Season 10, which is October 25th, 10 a.m. PST or PT. That is when it starts, and you'll be good to go. Anyway, let's do some demos now. Let's check out the build. Got the Marshall GCs, Annie and Torch on the bottom. You can see my lack of PR though is pretty painful here. But you know, the freezing power though of all these abilities though is incredibly good. You have like a Baal Nova now. You have like Chaos Ice Bolt. And see, look how good Taunt is. Like, Taunt is like really good. Remember to use that Dragonflight off cooldown. Attack rating being pretty crucial, hitting the monsters. Yikes. Yeah, being amped is kind of rough. Fade can help with that though, so can Plague. And then obviously, you know, just having DR might actually be good. Damage is pretty sick though. I really like this ability now. I think Blades of Ice is so much more interesting than it was in the previous seasons. Where it pretty much has had a really low AoE perma-freeze. It's pretty much all it used to do. Nobody played it. Might cows with amp. I guess I'll pop my oh crap button. There we go. Might not be good.
Nope.
Keep spamming that Blades of Ice button. Caster Claws can get you more damage, yes, but there are some weaknesses to some of those claws though in general. But you are right, if you're able to get certain claws, they can potentially outstrip the damage. That being said, you don't want to use two of them, because if you use two of them, then your cooldown on your Dragon Flight, in my opinion, is too high for effectively moving through the map. Doubling down on damage too much can actually end up hurting you, believe it or not. Don't want to double down on it too much. Let's do another tier 3 though. Let's check out something besides the cow level. Obviously, always good to show off the build and not just do, you know, cow level can make almost any build look good. Heck, I mean, it can make a jab Amazon look good at mapping, even though it's probably not for the most part, except for make sure we got that blade shield. I don't even know if I had blade shield last map. Even though jab Amazon can be quite good for, you know, bossing jab fend. And of course it can be really good for like fortified maps and things like that. I mean, it's still, cows will still make it look good though, that's the thing. Alright. You can see Fledgathon is a pretty sick map. No fire, no cold immunes. Just blow up everything. Super fun gameplay. Super strong. Never mind, a lot of my build videos from Season 9 are still perfectly valid, by the way. There aren't like a lot, even throughout all the seasons, there aren't like a lot of changes that make the build invalid. Some things might be different from season to season in terms of like maybe some gear choices, or like some mechanics might be a little different, but for the most part, things are pretty solid.
What do you need?
How's Assassin early start? Oh, it's solid. It's good. Depending on what you want to do, farming cows is usually pretty easy, or chaos, or like Mind Blast, Chaos, Pit. You know, you can do cows easy with like Wake of Fire. I'll do like a starter video. I think I'll do like an updated starter video this season for season 10. It'll explain strategies for each of the starting builds so that people can be well equipped. Anyway, let's do one more. Let's see. I'm gonna do sewers, I guess. Yeah. Sewers is a good one to show. It's just a tier 1. But you can see though that, you know, this build has it all. And you don't need nearly as much gear, of course, to do like lower tier maps. You could do either one, Mr. Burge. It's a preference, kind of. Either, it's kind of hard to say which approach is necessarily better. Alright. And this is pretty much it, chat, for the Blades of Ice Assassin Season 10 closed beta mini guide and demo. Over and out from the Mad Lab. Dark Humility salutes you guys. Crush it in Season 10. See you on October 25th. And of course, for the tier list even before that, tier list and infographic for all the info you will need in Season 10. Except for the new boss, which is a amazing and incredible thing that they're keeping a secret. I love that, honestly. It's going to generate a lot of hype. But besides that, we got all the info you're going to need for Season 10, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's crush it. Let's get it.